Hello, Phalonians. I'm Lore Master Matt,
And I'm Phelan John.
and welcome to the Bellringers. From time to time, we're going to record a series on a special topic, and you'll find that in these sessions, the Bellringers. The Lord Mayor of Teradim, Varain Qualtara, employs many young people, generally waifs and strays like John and I, to roam throughout Teradim, ringing a bell and shouting proclamations from the Lord Mayor or the news of the day. Besides a daily stipend, bellringers are often stopped on the streets by the affluent of Teradim and asked to give the news to them personally, for which they receive a copper or two for their time. We are your bellringers, and today the news is a starting point for lore in your journey through the world of Phalon. So last time we were talking about Koronna, and we discussed their history and their government. And today what we want to do is talk about their religion and their military. And of course, their religion is it's unique in Phalon, not completely unique, but as a country, as a
Yeah,
kingdom, it's a unique
there are
religion.
other people who worship the moons, but not on this scale.
Not on the scale. That's right. I think that's one of the things that makes them really cool, and the way that they're set up culturally that we talked about a lot last time. But let's start off by talking about the religion, and then we'll kind of go into their military.
Okay. Well, like any of the parts of the old Crygen Empire, right?
Mhm.
They started out as what we call God worshippers, who worship the God directly, way back when.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Crygen Empire expands to full southern continent, conquers a strip along the northern continent that's basically southern Falkar, Koronna, Thormanal, and Decandor, right? Trazrite rebellion starts in the city of Trazor, bursts out from the western coast of the southern continent, overtakes, makes it an alliance of convenience with the Michelle, right?
Sure, sure.
Doesn't work out the way they intended to. Um, but they end up also taking control of the provinces. Those become Trazorite provinces, of which Koronna is one. Um, then so Koronna is sitting there as a Trazorite province, as the other Trazorite provinces to its east and west fall.
Mhm.
Okay. So all those provinces have significant contact with Failers because they are moving south from Vertigar lands, their land of origin, and civilizing along the way at different times, different stages.
Right.
Um, but a more equal society, a differently structured society, in each of those countries all derived from the way the Urtigar, are and were.
Right.
So as the people that are now Coronans are contacting that, wow, I understand, I guess the history of why my nation has placed women in that position, which isn't, I know that the Trazrites get bad rap.
They do. They do.
They're not enslaving them. We'll skip spellcasters.
Well, they are, but
but
not here.
but it's in their minds, which it seems archaic and foolish to us today
It does.
as modern individuals of the real world, because this is a fantasy story.
Right.
Oh no, it's all real. Yeah. Uh, they think they're doing the right thing, and so do many women in the empire.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
I don't want to run a business.
Right.
I want to be treated with extra respect and
Right.
service.
It's more of a complementarian
Yeah.
point of view,
Yeah.
and it's not too far removed from our world in certain places these days.
There are analogs,
And
and we're not trying to make any kind of political statement by writing a
Absolutely not.
story. That story originated many years ago.
Yeah.
Caveat, caveat.
Right.
But and we'd like that tension.
Yes, absolutely. And that, at the end of the day, is what it provides. It's a storytelling device.
Yes. So, in any case, the Corona, what the people have become, the free Coronans, the Caliphate of Corona, they are interacting with and seeing the benefits of a different way of doing business. Now, of course, it's not homogenous. Not everyone in Corona agrees with that.
Right.
But as we talked about last time, from the government standpoint, a lot of the original cadre of those who rebelled kind of took a lesson from the Trazorites and how they did it to the Crygen Empire.
Right.
Because it worked.
Yes.
Right. And so that some religious zeal helped the Trazorites, and they built their own religious framework. Not just because they believed in it, but also because it had the practical effects of helping them
Right.
overturn the empire,
Right.
and made them more compatible with the societies they leaned on for help.
That's
Right.
also correct. Yeah.
You know, because unlike the Trazarite rebellion against the Crygen, the Koronnas are sitting there wanting to rebel and make this last Trazarite province not a Trazarite province. All the Phalar and Simker nations nearby are like, let's go.
Right.
Some help. Can I send you some money or some spearmen or something?
Yeah, some people.
Yeah. So the moon's religion is based on now in the view of the Gaul that are the eyes that the Koronans carry, the moons and their anthropomorphic selves are man and wife,
Right.
which is different than the Phalar view.
That
With
is.
their brother
It
and
is.
sister.
Which I also like for
Yeah,
storytelling.
it's a little bit of tension,
Mm-hmm.
some weirdness at your joint of religious conclaves, fights on the floor between robed scholars,
Right.
chipping at each other. But it's a religion of learning. It's a deep focus on improving yourself through improved understanding of the world around you in a partnership with people of other genders,
Right.
as opposed to having that structure that Runa dictates.
Right.
Anathema to Runus, Sunburners.
Yes.
Yeah, so war, and the Phalars step in and help, At the time that they rebel, Falkar is a kingdom. It's a very junior kingdom, only been around for a few decades. What is now Lormanal and what is now Herodel have not formed yet, but there are Phalars living there in various
They're the
states.
process.
Yeah, in the process. And they see, not having the Empire having their last toehold on the Northern Continent is a good thing, particularly Falkar, who fought a long war with them.
Right.
So they come in to help. And are far more okay with the moon's religion than they are with Runa.
Yeah.
So I would just put aside
A
this
little-
husband-wife thing, his brother, sister, right?
It's a little less empire building.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. They're not scared of Koronna suddenly breaking out and taking over. It could happen, I guess. So.
Sure.
All of Kronans think they can,
They just got to look at the problem from a
That's
certain point of view.
Yeah. So, and then, like I said, it's anathema to the Empire. One that's the one successful rebellion. They don't want all the, provincial, subject kingdoms down the Empire to get an idea.
Right.
Hey, the Koronans did it. We can too. We can't have that. Although they're a little bit more isolated. There's no, country friendly to their interests that isn't the Empire sitting next to them. Like
Yeah.
it is Koronna. So it's a very inwardly focused religion. Meaning I'm trying to gain understanding of how the world works and improve myself through that effort. The eyes, it's the call of wisdom, introspection, and learning.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's the Koronna religion.
That's awesome. And I love that it's in complete odds with
Yes.
the Renaic
Yep.
faith and what they used to be ruled over by. So
Yes.
That's
And every so often, that bird chaps the Trazarites too much, they launch a crusade, which might be coming, to try to take it back.
I just have to imagine that there are some Trazarite government officials that spend their entire lives chapped over that
Yeah.
and just plotting and planning the next crusade to come and take it.
And some of them, they don't quite get it done in their generation.
Right. They just pass that mantle.
Avenge me, boys. Carry on my legacy. Yeah, that's how that is.
So
So
when
we'll have one of those coming.
We will.
Not too
And
distant
when the
future.
next one falls, when the next one falls on Koronna, when the next crusade hits, what kind of military will they be facing?
So interesting that it's a theme that we have long had in Phelan that we take when I say our, I mean us, you, me, the team, Colin, Jeff, Matt, everybody. Our knowledge of how militaries work and weapons work and military history and weave it into these stories.
Right.
So that there's a baseline, It's easier to write the fantasy elements if we can ground the reader, the player, in something familiar,
Right.
and not have everything doesn't play by the rules.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah.
chaotic generally for a reader. And there's stories that need to be told like that. We're not one of them. Okay.
Right.
So it also, makes sense. And allows you to deviate in other ways. So if I'm the original Crygen, I take that province, I'm importing dinosaurs, not all of them, what we call dinosaurs, you and I, Zarn,
Yeah.
onto the continent. It's not the best, it's not the best environment for them. They want to eat horses instead of ride them.
Right. Right.
So there's some introduction of that, and there's some blending. The Velazars aren't working out, so we're going to stick to her. And my enemies. There are battles and skirmishes and wars fought between Koronna and the nations around it.
Sure.
Right. Sure. And it's not necessarily true that certain types of forces are best equipped against the neighbors I have, as opposed to what I'm using down on the continent with the subject to keep the subject kingdoms alive. So I can intimidate them with a cohort of the Velazars.
Yeah.
It's less scary to some other things I might find on the northern continent. So one big feature of one continent is the Phalar Knight, the Valkaran, Herodallan, and Thormannalan Knights.
Right.
So a heavily armored shock charge is going to be in your future if you're going to tangle with these people, and a short sword isn't the best weapon to repel that.
Right.
So the classic legionary method for defending against a light cavalry attack or another infantry attack doesn't necessarily work best. So spear-armed troops backed by archers become, over time, the backbone of the Koronna military, because that's who I'm fighting.
Yeah.
But I'm not really getting crusaded every time I turn around, but I fight skirmishes with the damn Valkarans and Helderdons and Thormannalans all the time. So I have to have a military matches. And the colors of the Koronnan heraldry, are woven into those military units to establish class. So spear-armed troops form the backbone, right? And we just said red is the lowest, not untrained, they're not,
Right.
slaves on the line or serve, right? They're just line soldier, weekend drill soldier.
We call them followers.
Yes, right. We do. Yeah. And that's right. That's why black archers and black lancers are heroes. Even the red lancer's a hero because there's some status to that even.
Sure. Somebody that's riding horse.
So you're there to, prevent and stop a cavalry charge, a night cavalry charge by the Phalars you're facing. And then your black lancers are going to go in there and,
mess things up.
Yeah. And take it to the enemy. We haven't made one of those yet. Well, we're working on one in the background. Yeah, we absolutely are. And we have one that's a named character for one of our Patreon subscribers. Yeah, that I'm working on. And we want to make that a bigger deal when we actually release the model.
Oh yeah.
So you can play that character.
Absolutely.
Sure. And we'll be a player in the story of the Jaguar Crusade.
Right.
A point of view character. So
just rapidly approaching.
Rapidly. That's terrifying. Yes, it is rapidly approaching. That's Matt's covert for get to work, John.
Not what I was thinking, because we've all got a lot of work to do for that.
Yeah, so.
All right, folks, thank you very much for joining us for the Bellringers. And next time we're going to jump into a whole new faction, and we'll see you then.
So Sakava.